Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be doing a couple lessons like this where you can pause the video, you can take your own notes, you decide how you want to do this, how it works best for you. Today's lesson is about rates. I would love if you were writing this in your math journal, but you can pause it, go back, look at it again. There are videos that have been uploaded to Khan Academy as well to give you more practice, but these you can access, maybe seeing the way that I do it and the way Khan Academy will both be helpful for you. So we're going to move into something called rates. And we've talked about this a little bit. A rate is a ratio in which the two terms are in different units. So for example, if I'm traveling and I go 400 miles in 5 hours, we've got the two different units, the miles versus hours, and we could write that, and I would get in the habit of making sure that you label. This is going to be important down the road when we do this a little bit harder questions. So a couple examples would be, it costs $9.50 for 2 people. So I write it as a ratio. Remember, with a ratio, you can write it as a fraction. You can write it as a colon. You could write it with the word 2. And then a unit rate is just how much of something per 1 unit of the other. So if we go back up to these ones, for those of you that already can see that, the unit rate of this would be going 80 miles per hour. The unit rate of this would be if I'm charging $4.75 per person. So the nice thing with the video is you can pause it, stop it, go back. If you need to pause it now, go ahead and do so. So let's look at a couple examples. If you drive 600 miles in 12 hours, so we have 600 in 12. Again, you can label those. 600 in 12 hours. What would be the unit rate of that? So this would be a good time to pause, think about it, and write your answer if you think you know already. So the unit rate would be going 50 miles in 1 hour. And how did we wind up doing that? We took the 600 and we divided by the 12, because that turns the 12 into the 1 as the denominator, which is what I'm looking for. Some of you on your ALEX have some that are really strange that ask you to find the unit rate in an awkward fashion. For example, if you were looking at this one and it said, how long does it take to go 1 mile? For that specific question, what you would be doing is you would be dividing, instead of 600 divided by 12, you'd actually be dividing 12 by 600, because the 600 is the one that you would want to be the 1. But I would say that this is a little bit more common, finding how many miles you drive in 1 hour. And then we can go along and say, have questions at that rate. How many miles did you go in 5 hours? So the nice thing about this is, once you take whatever that ratio is, whatever that rate is, and convert it to your unit rate, you can find many other things. So this question, if I wanted to know how many miles I can go in 5 hours, based on the unit rate of 50 miles in 1 hour, I would be able to easily find, by multiplying by 5, 50 times 5, I'd go 250 miles in 5 hours. So I can continue on and I can ask other questions. How far can I go in 15 hours? And by doing the same thing, if 50 miles 1 hour, I want to find 15, I would multiply by 15 and I would wind up at 750 miles. So what about this one? You spend $25 for 10 rolls of toilet paper. So that would be our rate, 25 to 10. And if I want you to find 1 roll, that would be our unit rate, figuring out the cost for 1 roll. So to do that, what I'm looking for is, I want this one to be 1. So the unit rate would be $2.50 for 1 roll, because I would be dividing 25 by 10. From there, again, we can find other questions, or we can find answers to other questions. If I'm looking for 6 rolls, if it's $2.50 for 1 roll, then I can multiply by 6. 250 times 6 would be $15. I encourage you to go back and look at this if any of that didn't make sense. I also encourage you to get onto your classroom and look for that Khan Academy that deals with unit rate. There are some ones that you can challenge yourself with. I challenge you to go through the videos as well as doing those examples. And tomorrow will be our first Zoom at 11:30. I hope to see all of you there, but you need to be prepared with things like this. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 11:30, Friday, 11:30.